5 seconds remaining.
Hello everybody and welcome to this
Dire
Join
team
Dota
back.
League Season 2 Europe Division 1 game. Gonna be between Relax and X-Game.kz, formerly known as Next.kz, might be the name you've heard of them under, but, well, we're gonna be seeing some CIS Dota
Radiant
today,
team
and I am not
back.
alone in this endeavor. I am Don Horatio, and my good friend with me today is Roxas. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing quite well. Been
Dire
watching
team
some
pick.
of the C qualifying games. Got to watch Pyrian Flax leave overlays on for days and days. Got to see some different picks, so that was nice. Just people pick differently as well. And then I also drank 2 liters of Coke, so it's been a
Wow.
good morning.
You drank 2 liters of Coke this morning. What a player. Well,
I've been
why
up
did
for
you
a
even
while.
do that?
I don't like one
10
sip at a
seconds
time.
remaining.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, anyway, we've got 2 teams going into Europe here.
5
We've got
seconds
Relax,
remaining.
the Russian team, versus X-Game, and they are the Kazakhstan team. And both these
Reserve
teams
time.
will be in the TI4 qualifiers for the EU region. Relax they're expected to do okay. X-Game, not really the same way. They haven't been looking too strong this patch with a 3-8 record so far. Relax not looking too much better, but they've been playing at some stiff competition, and they've been 2-0'd by VP a couple times, also in the qualifiers, so we'll have to see how they actually decide to show up. But right now, we're casting this game, and do want to point out also that looks like Relax does have a stand-in. Dread, actually, he may have listened to the people in the chat, and he is indeed streaming. I don't know, he could be streaming somewhere else and not playing his real game, but who knows. They'll have a stand-in, who I will call Milord, affectionately, because his name is way too long for me to say properly, but they'll be missing out on their star player here, but we'll see if they can make up for the loss of that. And, well,
Well,
no
they're
picks
taking
yet.
a long time with this first pick. They've used half their bonus time already.
Yeah, I feel like we've made enough time
Radiant
that
team
there should have been a
pick.
pick by now. There comes the Sand King, so
Yeah,
not your
Invoker
traditional
Centaur
first pick.
banned out.
So-
No,
you go ahead.
You go ahead. I'm more
Oh
polite.
my
All right.
goodness,
Invoker,
well.
Centaur banned out, and then Lycan Batrider banned out. Just strong heroes in general, not really particularly geared towards the teams. So that's gonna be good. And just standard. Treant Protector, Darkseer coming up. Darkseer, very popular offlaner. Not to mention his synergy in team fights with the Treant Protector, and as well as Treant Protector just being a good hero as far as being an enabler for the rest of your lanes. I think one of my favorite quote-unquote aggressive support duos is Crystal Maiden and Treant Protector, just because everyone in all 3 of your cores have unlimited health and mana, even if CM and Tree aren't as aggressive as something like Bane and Visage or Bane Lena, something like that. But Relax, they pick up a hero I haven't seen in quite a long time, a Mirana.
10 seconds remaining.
What a joker. But, yeah, we will see the Mirana come in.
5
And
seconds remaining.
versatile hero, doesn't really show up much of your strategy, so really no reason not to pick this. And both teams
Reserve time.
following along in what some might call the EG style right now, especially X-Game with those first 2 picks looking very EG-ish. With the C
Radiant
qualifiers,
team
we thought
back.
we'd escaped that style of drafting for just a little bit, but not in this game so far. We'll have to see if X-Game follows it up with a Wraith King, but they can't pick Mirana, so strat already broken. But, well,
Ah, Jesus.
Shadow Demon already banned out by Relax, and
10 seconds
strong support doesn't
remaining.
really pair. I mean, it's alright with the Treant, but it's not a really significant follow-up, and they don't have the Mirana follow-up
Dire
either, so
team banned.
I don't know.
Well,
the
the
Shadow
thing
Demon
is-
ban, it's always good. It's still good, irregardless.
The thing is, Shadow Demon is just as good with Mirana as he is against Mirana, just because, kind of similar to Abaddon, who can use a Photic Shield to remove stuns,
10
Shadow Demon just
seconds
disrupts you,
remaining.
and then you're invulnerable, then you come out, you're not stunned anymore, and that's also
5
giving your
seconds
team time to come out and help you. So,
Radiant team
it,
banned.
and like you said, it's just a strong support as always, and Relax is probably thinking X-Game might quote-unquote block pick it, because it does go well with the Sand King, and they don't plan to pick it up, so they're going to go and ban it. Lich going to be banned out, another hero that we don't really see that often, but a very
10
strong laner,
seconds
kind of a
remaining.
huge pain in the ass to deal with because of the experience you lose
5
from him
seconds
using
remaining.
Sacrifice as well as a Frost Blast against some pretty squishy heroes, which aren't really on the board. Darkseer's not really that squishy, nor is Tree, but there's still 3 more picks to go, and the most interesting thing I noticed is that Wisp is being banned out from Relax here.
Yep, it's against certain teams. You'll see it here and there. And like honestly, I just haven't seen a whole lot of X-Game
Radiant
recently,
team
so
pick.
I'm not really sure how much Wisp they do run. But maybe Relax knows more than I do, and they almost certainly do. So they go ahead and take that Wisp out, and, well, if they don't think it might be a possibility, no real reason to leave it in. That hero is very, very annoying to deal with if you think your lineup and your strategy can't really deal well with the relocate ganks that it brings in. So, gonna go ahead and take that out. And Brewmaster getting banned out by X Gamer here. That's seen a lot of rise in popularity, basically in the qualifiers, I would say,
remaining.
as of late, and maybe a touch before that, but it's made a pretty swift rise in the metagame.
Remaining.
He pairs extremely well with Mirana just because he can do so much just with level 6. And just with a bottle and a Blink Dagger that costs no mana, he can have a lot of mana to work with. And if he just has Primal Split, he can turn fights in a lot of ways. And since he's so aggressive and doesn't really need that much items, he just kind of needs the experience, even if he doesn't really win the mid lane, even though he usually does because the evasion from Drunken Brawler is really good. He can still just kill your whole team anyway between 12 and 15 minutes. So that's going to be banned out. And they pick up an equally strong mid laner, and they're going to pick that up in the Viper. So,
yep, annoying hero. A lot of people have been saying it's kind of trash, and I like to agree late game, but early on, if you can get a fast Ags and or even before that, and you gank across the map and make an impact on this hero early on, it's well worth the pick. You just can't really sit around on it, I feel, and not the best hero against Mirana, because if you throw a Viper Strike on her as a carry, she'll just leap away. She doesn't really care that much. Still gonna be slowed, but has a much better chance of getting away than most heroes. But they pick it pretty early, and I don't know. I'm a bit curious to see what their strategy is, if they're going to go ahead and grab it this early. Treant's a decently passive hero. Darkseer just wants to kind of farm up his mech before he gets into too many fights, so the aggressive nature of a Viper, I mean, he'll lane well, certainly, but I'm curious to see what other heroes they have to pair with this to actually make this pick make more sense.
I think it's just kind of to say
Radiant team pick.
you're really restricted on the mid laners you can pick because we picked Viper, to be totally honest, and he's versatile. He can fit also in a tri-lane. Like, he can fit in a pretty good aggressive tri-lane if they decide to go with Viper Treant +1. Maybe something like a Vengeful Spirit or any other hero like that.
Mm-hmm.
Viper can do a lot of damage just with his poison attack with the 0-second cooldown. And not to mention, he's just, like Mirana, he's really versatile. And if they're planning on being aggressive with Living Armor, he's very good, especially because he has a low HP pool, so Living Armor actually does that much more for him. And they're going to pick up another aggressive hero here in the third core, which is the Dragon Knight. Yeah,
and this throws things... It makes things a bit weirder as far as the lanes go, because both these heroes typically run mid, and I would expect... Well, like you said, you can get aggressive with the Viper, but with...
I expect Viper to be in the tri-lane.
Yeah, I think it will, and possibly an aggressive tri-lane, and then Dragon Knight mid and Darkseer solo safe, something like that. You really don't want to run Viper in a safe farming tri-lane, because that really... like I said, he's not a late-game hero, really. You get that Ags, and then you're just like, well, we did it, boys. And he doesn't really need that much help in lane. 1v1, he wrecks anybody. He's a bit vulnerable to ganks, but I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out for them. But they've gone for a semi-global strat on Relax, if they can get that Aghanims up on Keeper of the Light, as they've picked up a Nature's Prophet and the aforementioned Caudle, who's seen a lot of play recently. And I think with the Sand King on his team, it's a pretty decent support pairing. Lots of disable already on Sand King, so Keeper of the Light doesn't need to worry about his lack of stuns, and he can actually just mana up that Sand King or the Mirana, both heroes that can shoot through their mana pretty quickly, given if they spam their spells a fair bit. So, and if they do spam their spells, it actually does a fair bit of damage. More arrows for Mirana, more Burrow Strikes for Sand King, and more Sandstorm jungling, which is what we all really want to see as well, if he picks up some of that wonderful, wonderful Chakra magic. And, well, what do you think of Keeper of the Light? We've been seeing a lot of him recently.
I think he doesn't really do much on his own. He's just an enabler. He is able to get in the lane. He can do a lot of damage with Illuminate, especially if you're cheeky and get a Quelling Blade. Positioning can be rewarded quite well with that hero, but you really need to rely on your teammates. But fortunately, with Chakra Magic, you just allow Mirana to shoot arrows, and you allow Sand King to follow up Burrow Strikes more easily. And the other thing that kind of sticks out to me about this support too is both of these supports can jungle, and currently the two cores can solo lane. So they're getting pretty greedy as far as the experience and gold they might want to be looking to have early on. Mm-hmm. And that's another great thing about Caudle as well, is I think there's always more stock for any hero that can farm a jungle effectively early on.
Yep, and, well, Gives him a little bit of anti-push as well with the Coddle, and against a Dragon Knight, you're going to expect a little bit of that for sure. I mean, Illuminate's not the greatest solution because Dragon Knight all he needs to do is pop his ulti and then right-click a tower a couple times, and it's already taking a fair bit of damage. So Illuminate not going to be the biggest deal in the world, but well, if they expect a bit more than just the DK at their front door, they will need some Illuminates to blast back those waves. So
they at least ban out the healing strat. They banned out the Dazzle with their last ban, so the no stun but we live forever sort of strat is off the table for X game, and the Doom going to be go ahead and be banned out from X game. They realize that the Darkseer is their only team fight control. I mean, Dragon Knight and Viper don't really do too much if they're doomed. Like, it doesn't make a big difference, and they're kind of relying on the Darkseer to pick up the slack with his spell casting, so they're going to keep that out of the pool. And so X game going to go for the win all lanes support duo. They're going to go with the endless mana, endless heal strat by picking up the Crystal Maiden with their last pick, which I really, really like.
It'll be interesting to see how these lanes shake out. There could be a lot more spell-related action than in most games. We have a Keeper of the Light on one side and a Crystal Maiden on the other. There's going to be mana aplenty in this game for all of the heroes. So.
And since Viper and Dragon Knight have really low mana pools, CM just makes that much bigger of a difference just because the most powerful thing about Arcane Aura is just... Okay, Nagas Iron picked up. I was about to talk about that, but the fact that it's a flat added region, it's not based on anything. So the lower your mana pool is, actually the better it is. It's actually kind of funny if you're like Clockwork laning against OD and there's a CM on your team and you have 13 mana, you just see your mana bar ticking up in huge increments. But so the Nagas Iron are going to be picked up as the last pick for Relax. So this is a very late game strategy. They're going to want to turtle it out, split push, go global. Mirana Sand King going to be making space. Coddle going to be anti-pushing as well. And Nagas Iron, more or less a substitute for the Phantom Lancer. Not for the laning phase, but just for the anti-push, the control, and the stall for the late game, where they hope to outcarry them. So now X game, they do have much better lanes as well. And I think that they probably should go aggressive here. I don't think that Nagas Iron is as easy to lane with as she used to be with her Riptide nerfs and other equivalent things, but they certainly have the burden in this game to take action early and often.
I certainly think they're capable of it as far as Relax's lineup goes. I'm a bit worried if they don't get off to a good start because they've got a couple of heroes that could fall back to jungle, and if the Naga has a hard time or Nature's Prophet has a hard time, you could be seeing 3 heroes trying to farm that jungle, and if X game was aggressive tri-lane, then that jungle might be taken out away from them just a little bit as well. And we already see some drawing in the map, actually. I believe that was Viper. I think he was saying cinching the ward off in this top lane, and maybe in an aggressive scenario. So who knows? Maybe I'm taking too much out of this mini-map drawing, but got a bit of a pause here. We'll be back with this game as soon as they decide to unpause it. I don't know what we're waiting on.
A couple of them are AFK. That'll happen sometimes, especially when there's a stand-in.
Windex.
Especially when there's a stand-in, you'll actually notice this most of the time. Is the stand-in will just like go AFK. They're like, all right, pick me whatever, and I'll play it.
Man. Dude, he's picked his hero. See, it's Windex who's not here.
Oh, really? Am I playing the wrong person?
Yes, you are.
Oh, God.
Well, not the first time you've done that.
Wow, thanks.
Because you flamed me at least once, and that was a mistake. But
wow.
Anyway.
It's okay. We can just flame Travis Kissinger.
Wow, what a player. Oh, man.
Dude, don't worry. He's famous now.
Dude, I hit pauses at the start of the game. It just makes me think way too much about what's going to happen, and then I just double think myself, and then they don't do what I think they're going to do. But, well, X game's all in the game now, waiting on Relax's last hero. Windex is my great nemesis. He didn't load like 3 games in a row yesterday in the Virtus Pro series. I was like, oh, come on. But anyway, well,
X game was doing this too in the lobby because Relax was a little bit late. Mm-hmm. And they just kept being like, all right, we're ready, in the all chat.
We're still ready, guys. Please. Apparently Kazakhs have better time standards than Russians, but who knows, man. Just relax. It's fine. Just relax.
Just relax. You're doing fine.
You are literally doing fine. But anyway, man.
Oh, there he is.
Go.
What an old man.
Delightful Coddle. Look at that staff, though.
Look at that lack of a wizard hat.
Look at that lack of being a reindeer mount.
All right, look at that team that we're going to introduce, starting with X Game. Formerly Next.kz, now X Game KZ. Starting on the Dragon Knight, going mid, it's going to be Wadafaka. In the safe lane, tri-lane. Dude, shut up. It's going to be Mantis playing on the Viper. Going in the off lane as the Darkseer, we're going to have Stallcat. On the support, Crystal Maiden, it's going to be Equal. And last but not least, on the support, Tree Protector, we have Reeves.
Man, you're having trouble with these consonants these days. But anyway, on the side of Relax, we got Keeper of the Light, played by Windex. Sand King, going to be played by the stand-in Malord. Nature's Prophet, headed to the off lane, can be played by Shotchlo. Naga Siren, taken up by Yoki. And last but not least, the Mirana will be played by Crazy / Tame My Wild.
So this looks...
30 seconds to
I feel like X Game wants... Well, both tri-lanes are very strong, but if you're Relax, you don't really want to go aggressive just because if things are calm and you're only against a Darkseer, then you want the Sand King and the Coddle to have the option to go jungle.
They definitely want the jungle.
Exactly.
I'm kind of surprised by this. Picking a Viper and just having him go safe lane seems a bit strange to me, but we'll see how it pans out. Maybe they just wanted to farm a really quick Ags or a really quick mech and then just... just a really quick mech and then just push relentlessly or something like that, because I don't really see...
There are two philosophies to having mid-game heroes have their impact. Either you try to have them win their lanes and come on early that way by that huge swing of gold, or you try to keep them safe and get their first core item and try to do a lot with that. And personally, I'm more of a fan of the latter. So doing something like getting a very quick mech on a Viper or getting a very quick Shadow Blade on a Dragon Knight and then just going with that. Or even in other circumstances like with Clinks or with Batrider, you're like, all right, I'm gonna farm Orchid and then I go, but I'm not gonna do anything until I farm Orchid. Or if you're Batrider or Centaur, it's like I'm gonna get my Tranquil Boots and my Blink, and I'm not gonna do anything until then, and then go. So both of them have varying successes, and it's kind of a stylistic thing. I know that Team Liquid in particular really like to put emphasis on winning their lanes and trying to have an impact that way. But we see most CIS teams just kind of do this thing where they farm one item and then go.
Yep, and actually, top lane, there was an Invis rune on the Sand King, but he actually ran too close to the tower and range creep just pump faked at him, and then Archer was like, well, I'm a nope out of here. So he still just level 1, actually just going to go straight jungle, not even trying to touch this tri-lane, and, well, without level 3, it's be a very slow start. He's coming down here like a minute and a half in the game. There's no stacks to work with for him, and he'll be a little bit sad. He's getting wrecked by this. Oh my god. The pause are like, hold on. Our offlane player's an idiot. Let's pause. But yeah, he's getting wrecked by this Hellbear. He can't even kill this creep. He has to just go home or like salve up and then try again.
The best thing you can do is try to find the mana burn, the Satyr creep camp, and try to just put an ion shell on one of the big ones. Dude, are you gonna die?
Dude, you think he doesn't have any summons? Oh my god.
Whoa, don't stop, no! Oh my god.
Okay, well, oh my god, this is the most dangerous game. I don't even care about the rest of the game. I'm just watching this. Oh my god!
Oh. Dude, 1 HP!
Oh my god, what are you doing?
He was at 1 HP.
Oh my goodness gracious, Bill. Alright, well, we killed one creep. Time to salve up. Okay, we're going back in. But anyway, well...
This is the most action... Alright, you know what? Yeah, there's things going on in lanes. But this is the most action-packed thing we've got. Alright,
it truly is, but... Early last hits, kind of going as you'd expect, but mid actually going well in favor of the Naga Siren so far. Once Dragon Knight gets a couple levels in, Breathe Fire, he'll be able to catch up just
Bottom lane, Shocklow's about to get dived. He was spotted. And, he's actually going to go in, but Tree has an illusion and he can block some in here. I don't know if Mantis is going to be able to get him. He does have a TP. It can't be canceled. But Tree, he hurts so much. Dude, just TP out.
Just leave, buddy. Just leave.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they're going to go ahead and cut this wave off a little bit. Some nether toxin being applied to these creeps as well. Going to help push this in a little bit. And, well, but they're going to take this tower down really quickly. I guess that's one way to abuse this tri-lane. And, well, actually, Coddle coming in as well. Coddle, why? What are you going to do here? Shotchlo, why?
He was back to jungle with Shotchlo. He gets frostbitten. He gets leech seeded up as well. One last right click from the Viper is going to be able to secure it. That's so much damage early game.
What did they expect to do? Quite frankly, like, what is a Keeper of the Light? Like, what level is he? Level 1 Keeper of the Light. What's he going to do coming down there? In that situation, I mean, he, like, spammed Illuminate at the trees, I guess, but Tran's pretty tanky. That doesn't even do anything. And then the Viper's already shown that he wants to dive. I don't know. Seemed like a bit of an overstep for Relax, and they gotta play this a bit more carefully. This tier 1 bottom tower isn't the biggest deal in the world for them. It's the ones after that are really the towers you want to try and hold on to. Obviously, you want to hold on as long as you can, but that's on the Nature's Prophet, not necessarily the Keeper of the Light, so...
I think it comes back to what you mentioned as far as just having a crowded jungle. Normally, a Nature's Prophet won't really care if the tower goes down. It's kind of expected. He doesn't really have anti-push. He doesn't have much of a laning presence as if it's ever more than a true 1v1. So... But because Coddle has actually been stacking for Sand King, and also Sand King's been wanting to farm as well, he just doesn't really have that option. So that's why they were putting some more value on trying to protect that tower so that Shosholo could actually get some reliable experience while Sand King tried to farm up the Blink Dagger.
True.
And it kind of costed them there. That's the first blood going the way of the Viper. Windex actually denies a region rune from Dark, so that's nice. But I wanted to mention, just look at Mantis's oh, okay, never mind. He has full mana now, but he only has 312 mana, and it's already what, level 2 Arcane Aura? No, it's only level 1. But you could just visibly see he basically would shoot a poison orb out, and then almost have the mana back for it again in like a few seconds.
I mean, yeah, level 1 Aura gives you +1 mana regen a second, which the base on Viper is, I have no idea, because he...
Well, mid lane, Wadafaka throws a Dragon Trail into Yoki. Equal is there. He does not have a Frostbite. He'd used it initially. Greed Fire is there. Oh my god, 7 HP.
What a tanky hero.
What a GG branch moment. Shockville actually rotated in case there was going to be a return kill or a tower die, but there's not. Yoki, he's just going to be using his bottle to bottle back up. He's not even going to go back to base.
It's the most XP Shockville's gotten all game, man. He loves it. He loves it here. He's like, why is Naga coming back, please?
Oh, god, this is my lane now.
Oh, well, that's what I would do. Anyway,
I would.
I'm a terrible player, but yep.
We have not looked at the top lane. Mirana's sitting at 30 for 12. Kind of to be expected if you're a range hero against a Darkseer, especially if you have a good amount of regen. She's already pulled through it, or gone through all of her regen, but the Ion Shell wasn't really that high of a level. Now she has better damage to really focus the Ion Shell creep if she wants. And it can't really be contested with farm. She's pretty much keeping up with the Viper, who is going to be going for that quick mech, like we mentioned.
Yeah, on a team with a
By the way,
Darks-
top lane, there was a Burrow Strike. Illuminate
my
going to be able to
goodness.
secure the kill. There's an arrow as well.
That'll do it. So, nicely played by Relax. They do have, I would say their tri-lane, well, that's not even true. Both these tri-lanes do have pretty decent killing potential if heroes get caught out like that, so. Nice find. Surge doesn't help you when you're just stunned with an arrow for 10,000 seconds, so. Relax will tie up the kill score.
God, this is the most crowded jungle I've ever seen, because Yoki's farming it too.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit silly. Poor Sand King forced to farm small camp stacks instead of big stacks. He's feeling pretty left out.
He's like
right
a peasant.
Now, but he is the peasant king, or sand peasant.
Equal, he actually picked up an Invis rune, but then just stood too close to the tower.
It's fine. Now they don't know where he is. I just walked into that and just ate that eliminate. That would have been pretty funny, but...
Well, they're going to take this tower. They're looking to dive. The Sentry Ward was dropped down by Coddle. So Windex, they know exactly where he is. But still, applying heavy pressure to this tower is really good because it pulls Coddle away. I mean, he's not really going to contest Darkseer super well. He's actually just preferring the jungle. You usually get a bit more out of the jungle as a Darkseer anyway, just because of the mechanics of Ion Shell, as long as there's someone is in the off lane. But Tame My Wild is just fine. Well, never mind. Actually, Reeves, he's behind the tier 1 tower in mid, and he gets Burrow Struck right after a Leech Seed. Moonlight Shadow's going to be used defensively. Reeves is going to get away with some living armor. Windex, though, he's going right
Coddle.
Illuminate. Oh, Coddle right clicks not strong enough.
Arrow?
An arrow to fly. He almost walks into it. Oh, never mind. That Windex Marana's on his team. I'm sorry. I see an arrow and I always freak out if it's not mine.
I do the same thing, but anyway.
Don't worry about it. But still, just 1 for 1 on the board. Lots of small skirmishes and lots of heroes wanting to farm jungles.
Stallcast finding some farm. He loves it.
And
He
mid
loves
lane,
up here.
Yoki gets dragon tailed, and he songs, but he still dies to the Frostman Nova.
Oh my goodness.
But arrow still connects on Wadafaka. It was only about a 3-second arrow. Tame My Wild doesn't really have the deeps yet, even with the phase boots in Aquila, hitting for about 100. It's not going to be enough to tank through 2 levels of Dragon Blood.
Oh, that's a Song of Siren down for
160
time.
seconds.
Yeah, that'll certainly hurt. Didn't really literally achieved nothing with that song, and then, well, Viper's showing Nature's Prophet the error of his ways of living in the bottom lane, so not a fun place to be for him.
Yeah, I think the only lane that I would fear more as a solo Nature's Prophet in a 1v1 is either a Clinks or a Weaver. because you're so squishy. Like, people forget Furion's actually quite a squishy hero. They kind of forget just because he's so mobile and he builds mobile items and he has a lot of control just with Sprout at level 1. But he can't stand up and just trade right clicks with those heroes at all. By the way, top lane, Surge onto Reese. He's going to be leech seeding Windex. Oh my god, that does damage. He throws out a Spite Illuminate that does nothing.
Well, sometimes you gotta just throw up that light.
I mean,
Praise the sun. But
Coddle is... This is just the greed of their lineup coming into the laning phase. And we kind of expected this, but X game, they aren't really pressing their advantage as much as...
Are we going to see a Vanguard Darkseer?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
No, he's rushing pipe.
No,
because
it's Vanguard. It's definitely a Vanguard, Travis.
Dire's structures
No, he's not
are
going
Vanguard is a
Vanguard.
great item. What are you talking about?
Dire's
Anyway.
middle tower is
But yeah,
under
no.
attack.
I was actually kind of... I only clicked on Darkseer to check because Darkseer, typically the mech builder on your team. So when he's not building the mech, I feel like there would be like an identity crisis. I know I would be in one. Be like,
Dire's
what do I...
middle tower
What do I
has
do?
fallen.
That's how I
can't
feel
build a
when I
mech. I
play
just build a mech
Chen and I
anyway.
don't
We
build
need
mech.
2 mechs. 2 mechs. Why not?
Viper
Anyway.
actually, speaking of the mech, he actually has it done. It's in the base. He just needs to get it delivered. He actually has his Gloves of Haste to finish his treads as well. So Mantis farming very well. 63 last hits. Almost perfect CS, actually. Jesus. And considering he's dived a few, I think the only last hits he's missed have probably just been when he's gone past the tower to click on heroes instead of creeps. So very impressive from him. You know, on the mid lane, Wadafaka, he did pop Dragon Form to try to harass Yoki, and the tier 1 did go down, which is to be expected when there's a Dragon Knight there. And when they get this mech and pipe up, Darkseer already have the hood. He's going to take a little bit longer to get it. Then we're going to see the
Why is
5
he
man.
building Vanguard? He needs it to survive.
Okay, why should he build Vanguard?
There's absolutely no reason. But anyway. But yeah, no, that'll help out against the Epicenter a lot, which is something they need to deal with. The Sand King does have a Blink Dagger at this point. He is also level 6, so he does have Epicenter. Level 11 is still a good ways away, so that's when Epicenter gets truly, truly scary, in my opinion. Level 1 Epicenter is still nothing to shake a stick at, unless you just want to drop that stick when you die. But
Wow, that's a terrible pun.
it wasn't even a pun, it was just a terribly extended metaphor. But this bottom lane get be harassed a little bit by
you-
X game, and they're going to cut the way
They're,
with the
no,
Viper.
what do you mean harass? They're going to take
They're
it.
gonna
They have a
kill
mech
it.
now.
They're going to kill that tower.
They're gonna mercilessly.
And Dragon Knight finds a
brutalize
kill
the tower.
behind the tier 2. He had a haste rune and living armor. Well, poor Coddle. What do? You don't do
I
anything
didn't
is the
think
answer.
that.
He pops Dragon Form, and they're going to go on this tier 2 tower, and, well, they have a mech up and Dragon Form. What's Relax can do to stop them other than a perfect Blink Burrow Strike, but...
Level 1 Epicenter is like pretty underwhelming as well. Moonlight Shadow is going to be used. Yoki just casually walks by the courier.
I mean, they see this at the Sentry Ward, so they knew that was
Yeah,
happening,
so
so...
I'll say
Really smart Sentry Ward placement. They knew that was a threat, and they anticipated and they backed off. No reason to take a bad fight, and, well, they'll just run away. But I guess Nature's Prophet's farming top in the meantime, working on
a hand of Midas.
probably Midas. Yeah, I mean, it could technically be Trance, but I really doubt it. But he needs that catch-up Midas, and he's certainly going to go for it. And, well, it's really unfortunate. I mean, Nature's Prophet with a decent start can actually help out quite a bit in fights, but right now he's just... He has to farm. He can't contribute to these defenses at all. All he can really do is split push, and if they fall
Well,
behind
he'll
in a fight,
die if
I
he
mean,
comes, and that's
yeah.
just.
I mean, he's
I
doing
wanna-
he's doing what he has to do at this point, but it's with this RDS. I mean, I don't know. It's just a bit unfortunate.
I want to talk about item choices here for a bit. So Naga Siren, she is sitting. Yoki is sitting on 3k gold, so he's definitely going to be going for that Radiance build. And Dragon Knight, he's. Oh, okay. He was sitting on 2k gold, and I was wondering if he was going to go for Shadow Blade or Drums. Both of which help the initiation of the team, which they kind of lack until Darkseer or Treant Protector build a Blink Dagger. Right now their initiation is just to run at you and be tanky. So he's actually going to be going for an Armlet here, which is something we don't normally see on DK. It works very well with Dragon's Blood because of the regen you get, not to mention just having tons of armor and survivability to deal with the burst. And this lineup has a lot of burst before Naga Siren gets really farmed, as well as Mirana or Nature's Prophet. Because if you survive the Illuminate Blast, you survive the Epicenter, and you survive the Starstorm and the Wrath of Nature, all of which are magic damage are going to be mitigated by the pipe. You just armlet toggle, and it's really difficult to kill you.
I'm curious about... Well, I mean, obviously, the pure health total and the damage is... They must be looking to get damage out of this Dragon Knight, but they already have a fair bit from this Viper, but I guess... No one else in the team really right-clicks that hard, so reasonable enough. But yeah, we'll just see if the pure health is able to is enough to get him through this magic damage. With the addition of the pipe from the Darkseer, I'm not getting it probably will be. So yeah, like you said, not a typical pick, but mean, they want to
I
take
think it
fights
makes
now.
sense.
This is definitely a take fights now item.
I mean, normally you go Shadow Blade just so you can have sneaky initiation and take fights, but
Radiant
as
don't
it
wanna
stands,
sneak.
they
They're
can
just
they
brute
can just be
force.
tanky enough and just run at you, and then you can't do anything. Speaking of which, they kind of split up after the smoke gank. Taemai Wild's going to get caught. Reese is going to throw out the leech seed. A double Starstorm is there, but he's a freaking tree. You can't kill him. He even living armors himself. Reese is going to have to leap. He uses Moonlight Shadow defensively. There's an Observer Ward. That's not going to detect. There's the Sentry Ward.
That Sentry's not gonna
There's
quite
double
cut it.
Ion Shell. Waterfalcon pops a Dragon form, but
They'd be like,
gets
oh,
up-
well, whatever, just take this tower.
oh,
it's
there's an
fine.
Epicenter being channeled. It's being pinged.
Oh, what a good
four-man
Epicenter.
Burrow Strike! Oh my gosh, but the Next keeps him alive. Starstorm going to be
Rest
able
of
to
the team
secure a
just
kill as
isn't
well.
here.
There is a wall. There's no vacuum, though. It's actually on cooldown, Ice Frog, please. Taemai Wild's going to be able to get away. Shockley just contributing like the most pathetic right clicks ever. There's a Coddle Blast that does close to nothing as well. There's pings coming out. When next he gets Dragon Tailed, he's going to go down to the right clicks as well. So much poison.
That Epicenter was really, really nice, but his team was just not there. And he wanted to do something before that tower went down, I guess, but
Radiant's middle
I
tower
think it's
is
better
under
to
attack.
just, I mean, I guess only 2 heroes die, so that's not the worst thing in the world, but, I mean, they lose the tower as well. It's not like they really had any chance of defending it. I mean, it already had the Dragon's Breath on it, or
Dire's
the
top tower is
Dragon
under
Form,
attack.
Poison, DOT, whatever you want to call it on it, so I'm pretty sure it was going down already. It was a bold maneuver, just the team was not there to help, and Yoki didn't have enough mana for, I don't think anything in that fight. Definitely did not get off, definitely did not have mana for Song, and that's, well,
Dire's
by the
top
time he got there, it was
tower is
too
under
late. They were
attack.
just too spread out. That was not a fight they should have tried to take.
At least Yoki didn't die, so he's sitting at 4k gold. And he's gonna have his relic as soon as the courier makes its way to the secret shop after it delivers Fury on his Midas. So there it is. But this is just a choice you make as a team if you're relaxed. Is we're gonna lose our towers, but we're gonna have our Radiance on our Naga, we're gonna have our Midas on our Prophet, and we're just gonna try to make sure we don't get picked off. And I understand the reasoning behind that, but just in experience, both watching and playing that style, it's so difficult to just regain map control. Because just one TP to a tier 1 tower makes it really difficult to keep your lanes pushed. And not to mention that Nature's Prophet is actually going to have a pretty hard time split pushing, I think. There are a lot of good rat hunters. CM even works pretty well. Before Prophet gets some damage items, she can actually do a decent amount of damage just with Crystal Nova and Frostbite, even if she wants to blow an ultimate. And then any of the 3 cores and the tree can kill him as well. So I worry for Relax here. I know that they're making this choice as a team, but
Well, we'll have to see. The Radiance is pretty close to done. If they can get that Radiance before and they lose any of their tier 2 towers, I'm considering that a minor victory. In that, against X Games lineup, it's losing your tier 1s is fine. Past that, it gets a bit more difficult, and I think the dream might be over. Yeah, tier 2 bottom going to go down, so... Well,
Dire's bottom tower
looks like they kind of want to keep
look
going.
how little Illuminate just did.
Yeah. The creeps take a bit of a hit, but that's about it, and they're just going to keep going, and
Dire's bottom
they know
tower
they want to
is
get something
under
done before
attack.
this Radiance is up, and, well, they're certainly giving it the old college try, getting at least a lot of chip damage on the tower, and they're the ones with the tree ends, so no way to really heal that tower up too much, and
This is
they'll
the other
back
thing
off now.
too. That's great about picking Treant in an aggressive lineup is that all of your tier 1s stay up. And map control is the most important thing, I think, for an aggressive lineup. You start taking control of their jungle, you start taking control of Roshan, even if you're on the Radiant side. And the Treant Protector makes so much sense with that, just because of how aggressive it allows you to be in lane, then aggressive towards the towers, as well as making sure that you gain even more of a tower advantage by making sure all of yours are always at full health. So.
Yep. Looks like they want to pressure this tier 2 middle. Heroes are in position. Epicenter is back up. There's a Song of the Siren as well, so, well.
They're going to be using the song here, but it's just going to do nothing. Epicenter is down as well. Mantis, he might go down, but they're blowing everything on him. Overgrowth to counter-initiate, and, well, Sand King gets blown up immediately. Illuminate doesn't do very much. They didn't have their mech in that fight. Moonlight Shadow is used. Darkseer comes in. He does have a wall. He doesn't have a vac for another 8 seconds, though. Do they have any Sentry Wards? They do not have any Sentry Wards on them, but they throw out the Crystal Nova. Illuminate
Veronica
still
gets herself
does
stuck, but
nothing. She's going to TP out, but that buys enough time. Yoki now has the Radiance.
Yep, and I mean that was a decent enough fight. They killed the Viper off, and if they had not managed to burst him down, that fight would have gone completely different. They gets the mech off, he probably doesn't die, because after that initial burst, they don't really have a whole lot of follow-up until more items come up on the Naga Siren and the Mirana, so...
Also,
Beating the Viper
Darkseer was
up
not
quickly.
there with the pipe.
Yeah,
so.
that certainly did a lot, and he really couldn't approach the fight until the song was up, so... Nicely played with the Song of the Siren, does hold off just long
tower
enough.
is under
And
attack.
like I said, Naga's got Radiance, so we'll see her net worth skyrocket. Gonna work towards Boots of Travel, and we'll have to see what other items she decides to go for.
Mid lane,
here.
Water
Dragonite
Pocket,
trying to go
Drag Tail
ham.
on the Tame My Wild. Sankey's gonna be
working.
there. Yeah, he's gonna try to Burrow Strike, but guys, he's just so freaking tanky. He's gonna have his wand
Actually,
charges
they're
and his
gonna
armlet still.
Oh,
And
right
they
click.
actually managed.
Oh my God, they
Oh,
do
one
get
right
him.
click. He misses the armlet toggle.
Man, somehow
But that's
middle
still
is-
4 heroes. Darkseer comes in. He throws out a vacuum and a wall.
What do you?
He gets all 3 heroes in it, but they
Just
all
doesn't matter.
immediately just Burrow Strike and leap, and Coddle just casually walks out.
Yeah, and well, Dragonite, thinking a bit too highly of himself there, thought he was basically invincible. Soon he will be, as he's working towards the BKB, has the 2 pieces, looking for just the recipe, but that was a really bold fight to take, and well, they spent a lot there, and this is a good, decent bit of time that they keep using arrow hits, and that's a pretty long range one, but there's really 0 follow-up on this Darkseer, so... Well,
Just showing him you mean business.
yeah, Trina has a blink, and, well, looks like, relax.
Radiant
I'd be happy to
structures
take this
are
top tower, but, well, Living Armor flies, but I don't think, well, they're going to TP it now, they're going to try and defend this. Song of the Siren's
Yep.
going to pop and leave.
Tower's not even in deny range. So yeah, they saved the tower.
I'll be at full
Yep.
health in about 2 minutes.
Well, now they have initiation. Before they just, Dragonite went the armlet, just gonna walk up and try to be invincible. Now they actually have real team fight initiation with the overgrowth that's gonna be coming in from Reeves.
How did
I
Marana
sus-
get caught up by a Crystal Maiden Darkseer?
Wait, what?
She just got killed by the Crystal Maiden and the Darkseer. I don't know how that happened. She used leap. She must have just like screwed up her leap or something. I don't see any way that. I don't know. Well,
Well,
that's a nice
Surge
kill. That's
lasts
a
a long
dominating
time.
streak. So that's 550 gold for Crystal Maiden. She's feeling pretty good about herself right now. But she has 2 bracers, so why not? Why not feel good about
It
yourself?
fits the tank up strategy. Like, this is. It seems funny, right? Because we're thinking we have a tank up strategy with an armlet DK, we have a mech viper, and we have a
Double
tree.
bracer, Crystal Maiden.
Right. That's actually a lot. That's
Radiant's
12
bottom tower
strength.
is under attack.
So how much HP is that? It's like 17 HP per strength. Whatever. It's a lot.
Well, it's health she
Especially-
needs. Otherwise, she'll just melt to Radiance. and
Exactly,
Just be
so-
useless in a fight. So.
She's even fitting in with this. They're saying your spells are going to be valuable during the fights. We're not going to be able, well, Arrow's going to hit on Mantis. Starstorm going to be
Really
there as
short
well, but he
range,
has the
doesn't
mech.
care
He has
really
wand
that much about
charges.
it. Really
Illuminate
but
does
he'll
nothing.
make up
Radiant's
for it.
bottom tower has fallen.
And well,
They
might
do
try
trade
for a couple
bottom
more
for
right
it.
clicks here. Yeah, if they can get this tier 2, it'll be worth it. But well, with Keeper of the Light just blasting away, they're not too worried about this. Sentry plays a little bit far forward. We'll be in tower range and taken out by Marana. So
Stalkat
Oh.
sees Yoki and Sand He just gets Burrow struck into an arrow. Living Armor going to buy him some time, but he just dies
oh my
immediately.
God, what do you?
A little bit greedy, but Blink Overgrowth catches onto 2, but Mirror Image is out of it. Wadafaka, he activates his armlet. He
what a
tries to go on
strike.
Sand King. They throw down the Sentry Ward. He's able to get him with one last right click. Yoki gonna walk in. He doesn't know that there's a Sentry here though.
This
This
is
is precarious.
great for relax.
Oh my gosh, the arrow! Oh, it hits on equal. But is Tame My Wild gonna go for this? Yes, he will. He gets it with the Starstorm, but he
Oh,
sacrifices
the
his
fake
own
out
life.
TP from
Totally
Motherfucker.
not worth it.
Fake out TP. What a player. And well, Shasho trying to push bottom in the meantime, doing a little bit of damage. We'll be forced to TP out once Mantis comes back. So, well, at the end of the day, until that Marana kind of went all out for that Crystal Maiden kill, I would have said that was a win for Relax. They get a tower and some kills, but then throwing the Marana away seemed a bit unnecessary. And well, I'd like to see this Darkseer get a Blink Dagger as soon as possible because he's being caught out in weird spots, and he needs to be close to the fight to actually get his combo off as he tries to fight Mud Golems with Ion Shell. Not really going to work out too hot for him, but he needs
It gives him
this,
confidence, don't worry.
he needs this Blink Dagger because he keeps getting caught out trying to be in position for his wall, but he has to be like within surge range to actually get much of anything done in fights when the fight actually starts. So he's being forced to be in bit of a forward position and then gets caught out a lot. So we'll see. Once he gets that blink,
Crystal
things
Maiden.
will probably change.
Crystal Maiden, a good item choice as well. Going to be going straight for maybe, well, I don't know. This could be a Halberd, could be a BKB, but I think a BKB can work out quite well, especially because she's going to hit level 11 soon, and Freezing Field level 11, if you're able to get that off in a fight, does a lot. They don't want to commit the net to her if she can get in a good position for that to cancel that if she gets her BKB. Also, a Halberd can do quite well if they want to really only worry about the right click of Tame My Wild. So, Tame My Wild, he gets Frostbitten. He's going to be a Surge after, but nothing too much. It's just a 5-manning mid.
Yep. Still just level 2 Frostbite, so the duration on that stun is not particularly long. And well, let's see how aggressive they want to get here. Nature's Prophet once again pushing. There's going to be an arrow on to Dragonite, but I mean, can't kill him really without really strong follow-up.
He's a
like an
freaking
Epicenter.
dragon. Equal, he comes in, he finds Yoki, but there's going to be a song immediately. Are they going to channel the Epicenter? Yes, they will. They're going to be satisfied with just 2. There's the Veil of Discord as well, but Equal, he's there. The Darkseer comes in, he pops a pipe as well. There's a vacuum. There's the wall. Hits onto 3. Windex and Taemaiwell, they're going to be trying to get away. Wadafaka shows off his 10-second BKB for the first time. Everyone is still alive on the side of X Game, and they're going to take this tower. Glyph is going to be forced. Wadafaka has a good amount of time left on Dragon Form still, so they're going to be able to get a lot of damage done this tier 3 if they so choose. And with that, that purchases a Blink Dagger for the Darkseer.
Yep, and so the fight only gets a little bit stronger here, and I mean, that Epicenter needs to kill heroes or else they're going to lose fights. They need to start ahead with the lead that X Game has built here, because their gold lead is not that significant actually, now that I look at it, and we're actually ahead in XP, so game's still close, and the split pushing is certainly working out, but, well, if they want to actually win fights, trades are okay. It's only one hero at the end of the day, so I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. The tier 2's going down, it's fine. You have Naga, you have Nature's Prophet, it's fine. But if they want to actually win these fights eventually, that they're going to have to kill off heroes with Epicenter. They can't really go on only Viper and not kill him, because he's got Mech, he's got Nether Toxin, he's really hard to kill.
He has an Ags and a Yasha and Strength Treads too. He's sitting at 1700 HP, so if you're Viper here, I'm trying to think of what you would be able to Manta off. I guess you Manta off the mischance from Blinding Light, but or I guess the minus armor from Riptide.
This is where I know Fear has said this in the qualifier casting when Viper gets picked. This is the problem with Viper. Once you get like the first 2 items, the mech and the Aghanims, is like, what do you actually do after that? Because you already kind of fulfill your purpose. You just kind of like get tankier or something, I guess, or try to do a little bit more damage, but you're just a Viper. You're never going to do that much. The natural steroids aren't particularly strong on him as far as right-clicking down heroes in the late game, so I don't know. You have to just kind of end up building utility items, and Manta Style, I mean, it's alright. I mean, it's just a nice all-around item, but you're certainly right. It doesn't really achieve a whole lot in this game just from the act of really doing anything, because, I mean, he just really doesn't really know what else to make.
I guess, I mean, I think Orchid on Viper is okay, because you never run out of...
Travis.
Well, shut up. I think that... Wow. Okay, yes, Orchid's like my favorite item in the game, but the reason I like it on Viper, if you don't have a CM on your team, is because it does give you a lot of damage and you never have mana problems, so you can just endlessly orb and Viper strike every 12 seconds.
Mid lane, keep it the light. Where was he that Dragonite killed him right there? How was that even a thing? Oh,
I mean, you see that sentry ward right here?
Oh, is he...
I double click on his portrait. That's where it takes me.
Oh,
so.
Okay, they were invisible. Okay, so the Moonlight Shadow was used. Aggressive positioning from Keeper of the Light. Moonlight Shadow scouting. What a player. But well, X Game wanted to look at the jungle and find these heroes, but there should be a Surge. Not gonna find anybody, but he will find a Satyr, Mind Stealer, whatever that creep's name is.
He will find gold in the form of a creep. DD gonna be blinked and taken by Reeves, but still the push is real, and you know, maybe Shockley was having a bit of a tough time earlier, but he's doing a great job buying his team a lot of space. And this was the way it was intended. He's even going for the Molnir, which is just going to help the push that much more to buy space.
God,
by the way,
Reeves.
top lane, Taemaiwell, Reeves, you're manning up on a... I mean, you have a double damage, I understand.
Sunset will be so sad.
Tree. Oh my god, she's going for a Maelstrom as well. So double Molnir, interesting. What do you think about that? I don't think I really see that twice on a team.
Well, the thing is, Nature's Prophet should be pushing by himself all the time, so, I mean... He just went for an item that does a lot
Nature's Prophet, the Darkseer is going to be coming in, equal.
Sprout.
Good Sprout to try to
Not the best
nothing,
vacuum.
but this going to
should...
slow him.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, Yoki's here, and here comes Sand King. He has the Burrow Strike on the equal. There's the Pipe as well as the Veil, so kind of canceling each other out. Arrow to fly, and it misses. And everyone's kind of congregating in the mid lane here. There's a Viper Strike onto Yoki. He does have Song still, and...
Mantis, you're so brave.
He's going to be surged. Mantis, you need a heart or something.
Yeah, and I mean, the ultimate orb will help out if he is going Manta, but yeah, I think just pure tankiness would be pretty good for him. I do actually kind of like the Orchid idea on him. I'm trying to think, I mean, just silencing Sand King if you can find it, but the problem is Sand King's always hiding in the trees. I think just
silencing anyone, like if you silence Coddle, or even Sand King, or sorry, or even Naga Siren, if you can manage to find out the real one, but I think the problem with Viper, especially against illusion-based heroes, is just he just has no natural wave clearing. He has a lot of good single target bursts, and yeah, the Mantis style will help his wave clearing a little
See ya,
bit.
buddy. Oh, no, they just didn't bother killing him. They didn't finish him off. He's gonna TP.
Radiant's
Nope,
middle
never
tower is
mind.
under attack.
Found him.
Found him indeed.
But
Darkseer
never mind,
denied.
Choco, he's doing work. He's actually gotten the top tower. He's already pushing the racks, and
Radiant's
the
top
rat is
tower
real.
under
Darkseer is really the only one that can effectively deal with them and has a wave clear with Ion Shell, but this dual split push, it's working out, and relax, they're getting past the hard part of the game for them, and now it's going to start to be the really hard part for X Games. Speaking of hard part,
Radiant's bottom tower
Mantis
is
is
under
not
attack.
having such a hard time killing the Sand King in the mid lane.
Guy's a little sad, and he will go down. And well, I don't know. That might change the swing a little bit, but right up until before that kill, Gold Lead swings into Relax's hair for the first time this game. Ron actually finds a
Darkseer tried
kill
to
on
go to
Darkseer.
top lane,
Huh.
but dies to Shaco and Tame My
Eight
Wild,
arrow.
forcing TP's back.
Yep, and well, suddenly
Radiant's bottom
these teams are
tower
equal on
is under
towers,
attack.
and it's the window for X Game is pretty much past at this point. Their late game is a Dragon Knight. I mean, Darkseer starts in the late game pretty well. Not a whole lot of BKB heroes on Relax, if any, this game. So his walls will do quite a bit, but he's been suffering a bit this game on this Darkseer, I have to admit. 2, 3, and 4, the impact in the fights, I mean, he's had some walls that have just been not too impactful, and he just has
Like, they're good walls, it just... They don't turn into what you need them to turn into. Tame My Wild, he gets
Crazy.
caught out, but
He
he
is
just gets to leap away like you had mentioned before. But Reeves is here, but so is Yoki. Oh, there's going to be a net
The
thrown
casual
onto Mantis, and Living Armor going to be buying him a little bit of time, but the Radiant Illusions are going to chase him. Arrow's going to chase him as well. They're going to sever a stack as well, but Tame My Wild, he gets Viper Struck again. Mantis it off, or no, that was just an illusion rune. But never mind, Wadafaka comes off, he shows off his Shadow Blade for the first time. Yoki, he's going to be pursued out, and now he's level 16, so Ensnare going to be used to keep him in place. And so that was just Tame My Wild finding himself in a weird position. And I personally think it's actually strange that Wadafaka still goes for the Shadow Blade after the BKB and the Armlet, so I'm not surprised that Tame My Wild did not expect that.
Well, they need a way to jump on heroes that's... Because, like, right now they have, like, their Blink is on a Darkseer, who you don't want him... He's not like the guy... He's not like... He is an initiator in a way, but you don't want him to be the first guy in. You want heroes to bunch, and then you want him to go. And especially against an Naga Siren who just pops her ultimate, it's, like, not a big deal. They don't really have tremendous
There's a
pick-off
smoking
potential.
top, but when Next brought Yoki in, and Mantis is like, oh, a gift, thank you, but Yoki, he decides to sing. When Next, he's stuck. He's completely stuck, and they're just both going to TP out. He throws out some horses just to spite them. Overgrowth is going to be used, but going to be airballed as well.
Well, that's one way to save yourself, I guess. And, yeah, but anyway, Shacho, he's continuing to farm. Looking towards the Scythe of Vice, has an ultimate orb. At least I reckon that's what he's going for. He could be building a Scotty, but that would be not as intelligent as many things. But back to the Dragon Knight, I mean, they just don't have a whole lot of other, like, stun initiation. If they want to find a pick-off, he's got to be your guy, and this is one way to do it. Because right now, like, if they just... They really can't fight Relax straight up too well anymore. I mean, they had the advantage for some time, but now that Naga Siren's gotten her farm on, they just can't run at this team anymore, pretty much, and they have to find sneakier ways to get kills, and Shadowblade's one way to do it, but it does limit your late game potential, and that's a problem with having this lineup. He's all they've got, and he has to go for a Shadowblade, so...
I want to say something that's actually really funny that I didn't really think about with Molnir. Is Shocklow is actually putting the Molnir charge on a creep or a treant, and when the Darkseers... Well, actually, there's going to be an arrow that's going to hit on Reeves. Are they going to follow up on it? Tame My Wild, he phase boots in. He doesn't use a leap, but there's going to be a vacuum in. Starfall is going to be there, but Pipe is used. Wall is used as well. The vacuum, though, was used way beforehand, so it actually gets into no one. It's just a zoning wall. Shocklow is going to be right-click down. Blink and Overgrowth going to be catching Tame My Wild, and he's going to go down on the right-clicks. No! Song's already off cooldown because Naga's level 16. There's an arrow to come up as well. Veil, Epicenter, going to be used, but Wadafaka, he pops a BKB immediately, so he takes no damage. He's going to try to right-click down the Sand King, finishes him off with a Breathe Fire, but Yoki has a Molnir charge on him. It's a 3v1. You can't keep fighting this. I know that you have an armlet and everything, but when Next... Oh, actually, never mind. He actually gets him with a Maelstrom proc. That's nice.
This guy's a beast.
Wow, he gets a second Maelstrom proc. Jesus Christ.
This guy's
Play
a
over
beast
Mac,
right
guys.
now. Like, that damage potential, like you said, that Maelstrom pickup before that fight made a hell of a lot of difference, and, well, end of the day, it's a 3-for-2 trade, and, well, I don't know. Well, X Game thought they had that fight a bit earlier on. The song, it did change things around a little bit, and the Epicenter got the only 2 kills that they managed to find, so not a total disaster in that bottom lane, but what a fuck, still just doing absolute work. His BKB is starting to run a bit low now, down to 7 seconds. Be finding himself down at 4 seconds pretty shortly here. He needs to get this Mjolnir up, and they need to start finding some towers, because like I said, their late game, they're just not going to be able to deal with a Naga, and they just profit split pushing them constantly at a certain point, so...
Mirana's also pretty underrated late game, I think.
Yeah, and
what
her damage, she was doing a lot of damage in that fight with her Mjolnir, and she still has room for items as well, so...
The funny thing I was going to mention was that, so what's been happening is that the Darkseer's just been, or Stallcat's been putting Ion Shell on the creeps to try to push the waves out. But when Shocklow is putting the Mjolnir proc on, but the small instances of damage are putting off so many Mjolnir procs that the Ion Shell is actually pushing the wave back in favor of Relax.
It's a little bit silly.
That's a bitch, isn't it?
That is a little bit silly. Well, Naga Siren's entering that Naga Siren mode. She's got that Manta and the Heart now, along with the Boots of Travel, where these illusions can become a lot more difficult to kill.
They're already pretty difficult to kill. Fortunately, CM has her BKB, so and Tree is pretty tanky. So they're not going to be too worried. They're not like Lion, who just died of like Forge Spirits and Radiance Naga Illusions. So they're going to be more survivable, but they realize the imperativeness of their team fight, and they have Wall up, they have Dragon Form up, they want to force an issue here. Arrow's going to fly, going to hit on Wadafaka right away. He's already down to like half health. Living Armor is going to buy him a bit of space. He's going to use the armlet for a bit. There's going to be an snare, but they're focusing on the tower. Objective-based gaming. They throw down a Sentry Ward to spot Moonlight Shadow, but it's taken out immediately. But these Naga Siren illusions with these Mjolnir charges are doing a lot of work. It's actually going to get stunned. He popped. Wadafaka pops his BKB. They were fooled. There's a vacuum on the nobody. It just vacuum creeps. Wadafaka is getting right-click down. He has no BKB. He has Living Armor, but here comes the Epicenter. There's the Veil as well. CM doesn't even get to use her BKB. Mantis, he has to TP out, but no, the song's going to cancel it. Yoki's going to be able to take him out. A 2-0. Dragon Knight barely able to get there, and Shako wasn't even in that fight. And he has a Scythe of Ice now. Oh, if you are relaxed, you are feeling in the money right now.
I mean, they just can't touch this high ground right now. Sleep is not, you can't just run into it. Like, they sold that illusion. They're like, oh god, please be a real one, because we don't want to deal with Sleep, but... Whoa. Apparently I sneezed. Well, the dream is real. I have a cold, but...
Wow.
Anyway, but yeah, they just can't run in, and they need to find that Naga Siren before this fight starts, and well, Darkseer, good to know you, buddy, but...
I don't know exactly what X Game can do at this point. I mean, Mjolnir battles is funny, but they need like an EG Universe sort of vacuum wall that kills their whole team when none of them have buyback. Like, that is what it has come down to.
It's I don't know if it's gonna happen. This Darkseer just...
Like, speaking of which, you back
like, I don't want you up here.
finds Yoki and Shako. You bit off more than you can chew, buddy. He bought back. He does not have buyback. He throws out the wall, but it does nothing. He's down for 71 seconds. Equal throws out the Nova and the
overgrowth.
But they just walk away.
What was that overgrowth? Well,
there's a song. Where's the song happening? Yoki's actually going to TP out. He's going to be recalled by Coddle, though. And Coddle's 1,500 from Ags. Wadafaka, he's trying to min up before Arrow's going to be there. You're not invincible, friend. He pops the Dragon Form and the BKB just to die. Nature's Prophet gets 871 gold. Mantis comes in right here. He's going to feed as well. He pops the Mantis style, tries to get Windex just to pad the stats, but he goes down. He manages to get it with the poison, but still, only the Treant Protector is alive, and this is way too much damage. Looking at the buybacks, Viper is the only one with buyback right now.
Yeah, he can't do it alone. I mean, they're just going to lose 2, if not 3 sets of racks here. There's not a whole lot they can do at this point, and, well, relax. They just handled the defense. They traded where they could, and they certainly got it done. And I goes for defusal. It doesn't really matter at this point what her item is, but all right, I'll see you later, buddy. And
Blink Overgrowth, Blink Chief, so that's GG.
Well, I feel the Darkseer was underwhelming this game. Normally, like, the reason you pick that hero is to farm a quick mech, and then it's not like a fight and take a bunch of towers type of hero necessarily. It can be, but it's in this game it certainly didn't work out that well for them. And I don't know. Going for the pipe, it's more expensive. I don't know. He needed to blink faster, I guess. I don't know. It was just a very underwhelming pick, and it just really didn't do a lot of anything. But relax, you have to give them credit. They held out. Stand-in played well, got some nice blink epicenters, and well, Yoki handled it well. But I would give Crazy the edge in this one. He's the one who played probably the best and gave that Naga the space to work with on the Mirana, so nicely played by him and relaxed. They'll take game number 1. This is a 2-game series, so we'll be back with game number 2 here very shortly. So we're going to throw it to music for a little bit, maybe a commercial. But please hang around. We'll be back with game 2 in just a second. We'll see you on the other side.